Today I'm going to show you how I make flax bread in a cast iron skillet. This is one that I brought from the little farm that I grew up on many years ago, decades ago. And this guy is about 8 inches across. If you don't have one, you can use just a normal bread pan. Don't have to worry about that today. We're going to start off with 1 3/4 cups of water. And a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. I keep mine in the freezer and it lasts forever in the freezer. I buy this at Bulk Barn. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon. Like this. Any kind of yeast, doesn't matter. And 1 teaspoon of salt. Put it like this. And then I throw in a handful of flax. You can see that careful measuring is the secret to this recipe. Okay, once you got this all stirred up, I'm going to dump in 3 1/2 cups of flour. There's the half. One. 2. 3. 'Give it a mix. You don't have to do any kneading. I think it's around minus 32 this morning. Oh, there goes the grandfather clock. We'll wait for him to finish up. There, I've mixed it up so it's just a kind of a shaggy looking dough ball. Clean off your spoon. And we're basically done. Now all I'm going to do is cover it with a sheet of plastic and leave it on the counter overnight. And I'll continue this video tomorrow morning. Next morning, we can see that our dough has slowly risen overnight. So what I'm going to do now is scrape it out of here. I'm going to oil this bowl first though, because I want, after the second rising, I want the dough ball to slip out easily into the cast iron pan. So I'll give this bowl a shot of oil. Roll it around a bit. If you're not going to use a cast iron pan, you can simply dump the dough ball into your normal bread pan and let it rise again for a couple of hours. Okay, this is done. And away we go. Roll this around a bit to make sure it's coated in oil, and it slides around real easy. Okay. Cover it up, and we'll come back in a couple of hours and put it into the cast iron pan. Okay, it's been a couple of hours. I've got my little cast iron pan ready. Right behind you I have a countertop oven, and it's heating up to 400 degrees. So I'm going to put this pan in and let it heat up until it's smoking hot. Meanwhile, get your trivet ready. Put some boards so you don't wreck your countertop. Once that pan is heated up, we'll bring it out here and slide the dough ball into it. So once again, 400 degrees and smoking hot. Well, that cast iron pan is smoking hot now. So grab your oven glove or a hot pad. We're going to bring it out here and slide that dough ball into the pan. Hot. If you got a bit of extra oil, you can pour it off. Here we go. Ooh, it's just sizzling. Okay, back into the oven. You can leave it in there for 45 minutes. Just as a friendly reminder, I'm going to set my little alarm for 45 minutes. Because that oven is quite small, it has a tendency for the top of the bread to burn, so what I do is cover it with a chunk of aluminum foil once it turns brown, and it keeps it from burning. Okay, everything's ready for the bread to come out. See you in 45 minutes. There goes the old alarm. Time to pull the bread out. There it is, hot. Put that pan away to cool off. If you want to test if it's done or not, just give it a tap, and if it sounds hollow, it's done. We're going to let that cool off for a minute. Actually, I could slice it up right now. Hot! Whoa! Last week I made a nice little wooden sheath for my bread knife. That's that crunchy crust. Whoa! Steam's pouring out of there. There's the inside. Nicely done. We'll let that cool off and then have a little taste. You wouldn't believe how good this bread tastes.
How good is it?
Well, let me tell you, this bread is so good that if you put a slice on top of your head, your tongue would slap your brains out trying to get at it. Now I used all white flour for it, but if you want you can mix half brown and half white, or you can do it all brown. It all works. The longer the bread rises though, the more and more flavor it develops. So that's why I put in a little amount of yeast yesterday and then let it rise for a long time. Anyway, that's how I make flax bread in my old cast iron skillet. And it'll taste just as good if you use a normal bread pan. Well, what I'd like to do now is a very small reading from the Bible. So for those of you folks who do not like anything to do with the Bible, now is your time to turn the video off. And I'll say adios, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. But for those of you folks who continue on, I'm going to read just one little verse from the book of John, chapter 6, verse 35. Jesus declared, "I am the bread of life. He who comes to me will never go hungry, and he who believes in me will never be thirsty." So that's great advice from Jesus himself. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope your bread turns out. Thanks a lot for watching. God bless, and we'll see you down the road.